Hello and welcome to a pond without a UV light. So this tank at the back here it's got quite a few fish in it, but the pond itself has been without a UV light for about a year now. I ended up lending it to somebody and I just didn't mind, so it went. However, I would kind of like it clear so I can see what fish are in it. The fish don't mind the green water, there's no problems for the fish at all, they probably even quite like it. These fish are quite sociable, as you can see. They do come to my voice. If I shout them for food, they will come up to me, so I can see them quite alright. The only sort of disadvantage you get with green water is that I can't see the fish very well, and if there is anything wrong with them you can't tell until you catch them and get them out. But yeah, that's it really. But I'm going to put a UV light on it, so in this video I'm going to see how long it takes for this water to go from being very green to being clear. So it is, it has got the Nexus is actually for this pond, it has got a drum filter on it, so it's got the raised drum filter on it, and then the water comes down here and then goes in. And I'm going to put a 75 watt Evo UV on it, which we'll have a look at in a minute. So let's get on with that. I've been putting this job off for absolutely ages. I don't know why, but I just need to get on with it and get it working. But I think it'll take between 5 and 10 days for this to clear up, and we'll do a little comparison on it every day, which should be quite interesting. Right, so let's go and have a look at the UV. So this is the UV light that I'm going to be putting on, an Evo 75. In the bag there is a new quartz sleeve, a new bulb for it, and it is going to be pretty overkill for that pond, but I've used it before. It is my UV light that I had on one of my temporary ponds. My thoughts on the Evo 75 before people start looking at them is I don't recommend it. It is too big, and the 75 watt stuff can be quite difficult to get. So when I get the quartz sleeves and bulbs, I tend to get them at the beginning of the season and that, or early on, before everyone else starts buying them, because when everyone starts buying them you can't get them. So they're a bit of pain in the ass, the 75 watt ones. People always stock, the koi dealers always stock 55 watt bulbs. So if you go for a 110 with two 55 watt bulbs in it, you're sorted, and they're a lot narrower, so there's not much, you know, because if you want to change the bulb on this, you've got to slide it in, so the bulb has got to be, so you've got to have that much width. So you've got to put your UV light there, and then you've got to have that much gap next to it so you can slide the bulb out, so it's not ideal. In my opinion, generally either a 55 watt or a 110 watt is the way to go. But I'm also going to clean this out actually right now, so I've lent this out, it has been used on a pond. I'm going to show you how I clean everything out here, which may be quite interesting for some people. So this is my pressure washer, and this is what I'm going to use to actually clean out the UV light. I use this for cleaning a lot of my pond equipment, tubs, nets, everything. So I get quite a bit of use out of it, a lot more than I thought when I actually originally bought it. Obviously the UV light doesn't really need pressure washing, because, you know, it'll just blast it to pieces. So we're not actually using the entirety of the pressure washingness, if that's even a sentence. What we're actually doing is this thing generates a huge amount of hot water. So this part of it here is a diesel boiler, and it gives off boiling water. So if I run it like that, you can see that the boiler comes on, you can see inside, and after a few seconds it gets quite warm. Warm enough to the point where you wouldn't actually want to get it on you. It's actually a good way to kill weeds and stuff. So what I'll do is I'm just going to run this through the UV light, and then we know that there's nothing still alive in there that's going to infect the fish. So there we go, that's that gone through, and get it a good clean. It's probably not really healthy for everything, getting it like steam clean, but that's not my concern. I don't cared about seals and gaskets and the quartz sleeve, I could replace all them. I cared about not having anything in there. You know, even if you go through it absolutely really well, there might be just that little bit of milk that's got some little bit of bacteria in it, that's got whatever in it that's hiding. That bacteria is now completely covered in boiling water, so it's as good as it's going to be. So anyway, right, now I need to take out the UV light and quartz sleeve and replace them with the new ones, and see how I'm going to attach it to this pond, because I have no idea yet, but we'll work that out in a second. So here I'm installing the UV light. I've switched to my phone because I literally can't get my camera back here. So we're going to take this heater off, but I think it might be convenient to sort of rest it at the front here and put the inlet in there. One thing I do recommend that I've already tried is to actually see if the bulb works before you end up plumbing it back up and wiring it back up, because sometimes you can get these connectors not quite on right or whatever, and then once you got everything running and then you turn, you know, your pumps are all on, and then you turn it back on, then you find out that your UV bulb weren't connected right, and then you've got to turn it all off, disconnect, whatever. The only thing I haven't done with this one is I've put these on here. And usually I put a rubber gasket on, but I thought I'm going to try it without, because I couldn't be bothered to find one. But I'll probably regret that later. But I put a lot of PTFE on it, on each end, and then hopefully it doesn't leak, but we'll see in a bit. Right, I'm going to connect this pipe here to that bit there with the rubber boot, and then I'll get back to you and we'll try it. So there we go, that's that connected and that connected, so it goes all the way back to the pump that's in the pond. In fact, while I've got you, getting a drill attachment that fits these rubber boots is a great idea, so you can just stick them on, and it's brilliant, because when I'm doing it by hand, even with a ratchet, it really starts to get quite annoying after some time, but with the drill it's brilliant. Not an advertisement for Milwaukee, but I also like them drills as well. Yeah, so let's have a go at starting it up, see if we get any leaks. I've just turned it on. Oh, can you hear the water flowing? Please don't leak. Let's have a look at the other end. Actually, this has been one of them jobs where I've been really not looking forward to doing it, but it's not took me 10 minutes, to be honest. I've literally just, well, it's not exactly a permanent fixture, is it, leaving it there, but it's not a permanent pond either, so it's not a big deal. Although, having said that, I've done things on my permanent pond that are definitely not permanent fixtures. I'm just too idle to fix them. So there we go. But yeah, it looks like the PTFE's worked. It does not appear to be leaking. Fantastic. Right. Something to check tomorrow. But there we go. Right then. I'll see you in the next part of this video. In fact, there's rubber boots there, so look at that. I've never known one do that, but this one's split for some reason. Obviously, it were holding the weight of this pipe up. And that rubber boot's gone. I've never known that. Obviously something to keep an eye out, that the dripping on my drill and all, that they do age, but that looks like it's gonna get a new one of them put on. But yeah, so the next part of this video I'll be looking at if this UV light, how well it greens up. So let's get into that, see you in a minute. So here we are, literally 2 weeks later, and it is finally clear. The water's finally cleared up. You can see the fish all hanging about, which is nice. So I really expected it taking about a week to actually clear up. The reason it has took 2 weeks, I think, is because of the actual filtration. I think the filter actually quite... When all the algae died, I think the filtration, even the drum filter, struggled a little bit. And one of the things it struggled with as well is my, well, not neglect, it's just the way I use it. So this is the drum filter that's doing that tank. when I stored it last winter, there were literally a mouse living in the drum filter part. When I got it out, there were quite a lot of mice nesting it in the drum. And as you can see, that's a brand new screen and that's an older one. And I bought some new screens for it, but what had happened is some of the older ones have broke, so the holes in them like that, and the water was just pouring straight through like that. And it basically just meant that it weren't actually filtering as well as it probably could have been, which is a bit of a shame. So I think that's why it took 2 weeks to actually clear up rather than a week, but yeah, it is pretty clear at the minute. I'm pretty happy with that actually. In fact, this is the clearest this tank has ever been. Also, over the last 2 weeks the fish numbers have reduced a little bit in this tank, and I've put some in that tank as well, sort of even out the load, but I don't think the fish had really made much difference, because there's still quite a few fish in here obviously. But yeah, it is finally clear. So although the 75 watt UV light is very much overkill for this tank, it's done a good job and I can't complain. Like I said though before, I just don't recommend the 75 watt UV. The damn thing's just too big and just too hard work to put anywhere. Although it conveniently fits between them points for me, I don't recommend it. I'd sooner go for a 55 or a 110, which is two 55 watt bulbs. But yeah, like that big orange one there looks really nice in this water now. Lovely. Yeah, I'll show you these ones in this tank as well. I'm just about to clean it out, so I'm just about to clean this Nexus, and then I'm going to clean this filter out. I haven't cleaned it. You'd think I'd have cleaned it before the video, but I've not cleaned it before the video because I think if I clean it it'll then get a little bit murky, so I'm going to clean it when I've stopped doing this video. But yeah, there's some of the fish in this tank. But yeah, all doing well and happy. But what's going to happen now, probably in the next video, depending on how things go on, is this tank's going to come down. Having finally sorted it out, I'm going to take it down obviously, and then I'm going to put in 2 similar sized tanks to that one, probably here, and then put all these fish in that one, and then bring my fry outside and work it out like that, and then the fryer outside. I think though, what I might do, currently the Nexus is on that one and the drum filter's doing this one. What I might do is combine the 2 filters, so I might combine the Nexus and the drum filter. I've got some ideas on how to do that, but I'm absolutely sick of cleaning this Nexus. I don't think there's many fish in this tank, but I have to clean this thing every 3 days, literally. I mean, I've turned the pump off now because the pump was literally just sucking in air. The damn thing's a nightmare, to be honest. Absolute. This stuff, this K1 media, the micro K1, absolutely, it's like solid as a rock. I mean, obviously if I puncture it, it's gonna, but you know, you get the gist. It like sets like concrete, and I've no idea why. I can show you that by, if I put that down, look, and just get a mix up. Look, it's like concrete. If I put my hand in, yeah, it's only 3 days a month from not even that many fish. I don't know. Sick of it. I'm used to drum filters that are more economical and, you know, do their own thing. I don't have to mess about with them then. But there we go. Just my idleness probably. So there we go, that's the pond clearing up, and it did a good job actually. I tried to show like showing a glass on the screen, but when it was green it always looked green, and then when it cleared up it just always looked clear, even though the pond weren't that clear, so it didn't work out very well. But there we go, never mind. So I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, then please like it. If you want to see more videos like this and fish related videos, then please feel free to subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, then please put them down below, and I shall see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.